Buongiorno, good morning everyone. I had the pleasure to be the first. Hope you slept well. You had a nice breakfast. And thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be invited by Professor Franca Benini to this conference. I will introduce myself. I'm Alessandro Masserdotti. I've been teaching at the Politecnico di Milano since 10 years now. Interaction design, which is a new field of human-computer interaction that helps the technology to be understood by human, or help human to interact with technology in the other way out. I'm one of the founder of ... which is an interaction design studio based in Milano. And I am one of the founder of Open Dot, which is a foundation which is focusing on project that has social impact as a main goal. I will start that I was part of a workshop few months ago where they asked me, what do you think it will be the future, especially in healthcare? And nowadays, I think that thinking about future, we didn't have a bright future in front of us. That because of politics, maybe because of the wars coming or happenings all around the world. But I was thinking on, especially in healthcare, that maybe our future is going to be brilliant even because of technology. Even because technology helps us a lot in every field. And in pharma, for example, they develop a lot, helping especially our child in pediatric palliative care, reducing the pain, or even technology helping us better understandings and looking at things. So even if maybe our future is going to be hard to face, but I think it's getting better. And the other question that they're asking me is, what's my role in this future which is coming? Again, with the focus on healthcare, I think that maybe my role is being an interpreter or a person who is trying to do their best on matching and letting people who are not familiar with technology better understanding the potential and better understanding that technology is something that we can shape. It's not something that we just buy. Technology is something that we can determine and design. And designing, focusing on our needs, specific needs. This is the index that I will talk briefly about my background and my career. Then I would love to talk about artificial intelligence, but mainly let you understanding. I will try to do my best on trying to helping you understanding what artificial intelligence is now, and the benefit and the risk behind. And I will talk about affective computing, which I don't know is there any of you already know what affective computing is, or what does it sound? Okay, so maybe you will be interested in. And I will show you some use cases that I've been working on. As mentioned, is a multidisciplinary studio, or is a complex studio. I will start using this word in the last days, in the last months, that complexity, we used to deal and face complexity usually. And as far as I understand in pediatric palliative care, you are very good dealing with complexity, right? And by chance, 10 years ago, while I was teaching at the university, there was an opportunity coming to us. They asked us to collaborate and create a workshop, or using as a use case some particular cases that happens in a foundation based in Milano, which is called TOG, which is a foundation that takes in charge a child with complex disabilities, cerebral paralysis, and many other complexities. And we do realize that technology that is a lot of time very helpful for this kind of child for dealing with complexity. And so we started 10 years ago working together with them. We have been working together with them since 10 years, not only with them, but in many other fields of healthcare. And because of that, 10 years ago, we founded a foundation, which is an innovation hub that I briefly mentioned before, which is in particularly focusing on social impact. So all of the projects that has a social impact are in charge of Open Dot. And in particular, we have been focusing on health and care. So our mission mainly, as mentioned before, is not solving problem alone, but trying to figure out how we can be helpful on helping people, understanding how technology can be shaped, how technology can be used for solving problems by mixing all of the technology that we know, from digital fabrication, using robotics, using CNC machines and 3D printers, every technology that are available and low cost, hopefully, luckily right now, and a good mixture of software and hardware that we know since 10 years because we have been using that in design. We develop a lot of solutions, let's say, or we develop a lot of projects together with therapists, together with clinician practitioners that coming from many, many different fields. And at the end of my presentation, I will showcase few projects that we are working on. So let's briefly talk about artificial intelligence, myth and stories. Artificial intelligence is not something new. When we talk about artificial intelligence, we used to talk about springs and winters of artificial intelligence. The first time that we heard about artificial intelligence was in the 50s, especially by Alan Turing, that was starting mentioning these machines that has his own intelligence and is able to deal with complexity and complex tasks. Then, and that looks like that is here to come, the solution of all of the problems that we had. Then, after then, for 30 years later, there was a winter, so nobody anymore start talking about artificial intelligence, but anyway, the computer science grows a lot. Algorithm coming, new computer coming, until when personal computer coming in the 80s. In the 80s, there was a new spring of the artificial intelligence. It's well known maybe that the Kasparov, which were chess champions, was beaten by a computer. There was a challenge and the computer won. And there was a new spring of artificial intelligence when, again, all of the people saying, okay, here we are, that's computers helping us, helping us solving all of the problems that we might have, then a new winter coming. Now, in the year 10s of the new century, there is a new spring that, let me say, we are in summer right now, kind of. And especially in 2016, AlphaGo won, again, the champions of Go, which is a very famous Asian Chinese game, or Korean game, I don't remember, but that come from Asia, which were very complex. No way to solve or win against Go by using standard algorithm that was created for chess in 1997. And then ChatGPT coming, so large language model coming and arrived to us like a storm. How many people of you is using ChatGPT now? A lot. I'm quite sure that there will be someone who is using ChatGPT that for shaming is not saying that he's using ChatGPT, but all of us is a product, is there. €9 per month, and ready to use. Very easy, impressive, isn't it? Let's see, but artificial is everywhere. Even the languages that I'm using is artificial. You will understand me because, luckily, you will understand me because we have a convention. And the convention, in order to understand grammar and languages as a child, it cost us at least 3 years and 6 years in order to reach a good, comprehension and understanding and pronounce of languages. Every language is a very complex task. It's completely artificial. And even the visualization of instruments like the echographer, that most of you, I guess, you are familiar to use it, is completely artificial. It's math that is representing something. So artificial is not something new for us. We are always using artificial rules and code since when we were young. But artificial intelligence is just something new and artificial that just arrived. One of the best definitions that I heard about artificial intelligence is that we used to call it artificial intelligence since when is experimental still and not perfect. Then when it's becoming perfect, we come back to call it algorithm. But that's very, very radical definition. That has something new. That artificial intelligence is a huge field made by different fields behind, which is machine learning. It's different techniques. It's a family of artificial intelligence. Deep learning is another family. And generative AI, which is the new family just born, like ChatGPT is generative AI, and all of the other that is generating images, for example, are this new family of generative AI. But what is the main difference between artificial intelligence and human intelligence? If we ask an artificial intelligence to look at these images, the artificial intelligence, it will always answering us clouds. And 99% it is sure that that is just cloud. We as human, what we see in these images, just clouds? That's the main difference. Artificial intelligence is very good understanding, creating patterns, understanding at a percentage which is sometimes better than human, but it doesn't have the imagination. We see clouds as well, but we can imagine to see a bear, for example, or a duck. And that's the main difference between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. Apart, if we say to the artificial intelligence that it has to see something different in the image, in that images. So, what is AI? AI, it's a branch of computer science that is capable of thinking, reasoning, learning from experience, that the experience is the data that we provide. And it's a system developed for receiving, reasoning, learn, interact, act, and create, but not imaging. What is not? Is not a conscious machine. So even if it's impressive, the way how ChatGPT is answering us is not a conscious machine. I was speaking a few minutes ago together with Professor Benini, and she mentioned me that they try asking what you will do if you want to command or govern the world to the artificial intelligence, and it were answering an impressive answer, like many different tasks to do to human, for letting me doing the complex things, and so on and so on. It's just a statistical solution getting out of, for example, science fiction books. So it's not a conscious machine, not at all, and it will not become soon, at least. It's not just robotics. It's not a magical solution to all of the problem that we heard a lot in the last few months, that many articles or even companies, they're trying selling us the solution to all of the problem. Artificial intelligence, it will help us solving all of the problem. That's true, but it's very hard. It's a companion. We need to train it, we need to provide data, we need to fine-tune it. It's not as simple as most of companies, they're trying to selling us. Artificial intelligence is something that we use every day as well. While we are taking photos, the algorithm that recognizes faces in our mobile phone is based on machine learning and artificial intelligence. And even when we unlock our phone that recognizes our identity, that's based on artificial intelligence. We use artificial intelligence every day. Even self-driving car or even the turn-by-turn navigation is based on artificial intelligence. So it's something that we use every day. And as all of the tools that I mentioned, even the new tools of artificial intelligence are here for collaborate with us, and not for replacement. Even that we heard a lot about listening, we listen a lot about that will take our work. That's not true at all. It's a new tool. We need to understand how it's working. We need to understand the opportunities. We need to understand how to collaborate together with scientists, data scientists, maybe computer scientists, engineer. That's the tricky part. So language, exchanging languages and understanding each other languages better, but it's not there for replace our work. And another very important thing is not a black box. That's another myth that we heard a lot, that we didn't know why is providing us that kind of solution. The reason why we consider artificial intelligence a black box is because it's not anymore a deterministic algorithm. Deterministic means that how traditional machine learning or how traditional algorithm works is that we always have a tree of possibilities, and we can go back to the tree, so we can travel back and understanding why that solution is provided by the algorithm. With the new paradigm of machine learning, this is not possible anymore. So there's a convolutional neural network that is creating their own feature and classifier. That means that's, sorry that for being complex at this moment, but it is, as says that the way our artificial intelligence classify and understand if this is a face is not the way our human try to teach to the artificial intelligence before. It's not saying there's two eyes, a mouth, a nose in the middle, then that's a face. That's the way our human understanding. The new paradigm say that the artificial intelligence, the algorithm itself, getting out all the feature that maybe for the algorithm is just a particular piece of my eyes or the shape in general of my face, but not because it's oval, air or not air. There's tiny feature that is not human understandable. That's the reason why it's very difficult for us understanding why the decision behind the artificial intelligence was taken by the artificial intelligence itself. That's the reason why the new frontier of research nowadays is on explainable AI. Most of the effort of artificial intelligence in research field nowadays is on explainable AI. So that is something new which is coming. Then is helping us understanding better why a particular solution is taken out of ChatGPT or DALL-E or all the algorithm that is analyzing any pattern or any images that we provided. So this is a new frontier, is really a field that is growing a lot in the last few months and is here to come. And especially when we need to take a decision like you are used to take every day, which are connected to health and care and most of the time life of child people, understanding why machine learning or artificial intelligence is providing us some particular solution is very important. So, as far as you understand, I will create this, again, particular definition and differences between machine learning and generative AI. Machine learning is the most used techniques that we every day use, like mentioned before, for Alexa, recognizing voices, for example, or taking photos, that is based on task-oriented and is unsupervised and unsupervised. Generative AI, the new one, large language model like ChatGPT, is for generating new data, is for generating and creating something that wasn't exist based on something that we provided before. This is an example of supervised machine learning in medicine. Like this is a tomography where, with the help of a physician, the machine learning, the artificial intelligence is able to understand where maybe there's some diseases. And this is an example of generative AI, providing prompts and or instructions and letting the generative AI generating images or solutions or text. Let me spend a few minutes more talking about affective computing. Affective computing is a branch of artificial intelligence which is focusing on emotion. The main goal of affective computing is collecting as much data as possible in order to train an artificial intelligence and trying to let the artificial intelligence feeling emotions. And on the other way is try to let the computer understanding our emotions. Is emotion AI something welcome or worry about? I think that it's something welcome for the reason why it's not a conscious machine, and it will not become a conscious machine soon. Maybe in the next spring, in 30 years' times, but not soon, for sure. And it's something welcome, from my opinion, because of the empathy that we need to feel with every tool that we are using every day, in particular if with a device like, or with technology like artificial intelligence, and is welcome because having an algorithm which is able themselves understanding the emotion of child or baby with disabilities, that as far as I learn, most of the time it's very difficult to understand their emotion by looking at them, by watching at them. I work a lot with babies, with children with paralysis and face paralysis, that looking at their expression, there's no way to understanding their emotion. And as far as I learn from people like you, that's very important while you are providing therapy. So understanding emotion, or letting machines and algorithm understanding emotion and helping us, providing our best to these childs by understanding better their emotion and their feelings, is very important for me. I will spend my last 10 minutes, or maybe less, for showing you some showcases and use cases. We have been working, we developed these tools together with the foundation that I mentioned before in Milano, which is called Together to Go. And this is TOP, Together to Play, the name, is a tool for cognitive development based on eye tracking. Most of these babies, they have paralysis that doesn't allow them to move or to use the voices. And because of that, we decided to work by using eye tracker. Eye tracker, it's a very common technology nowadays. It was developed around 20 years ago for marketing mainly, and then they start using in therapy and for disabilities. What we do, we create a tool together with the therapist in order to making babies developing task and developing cognitive abilities that usually they will learn at school, but in a different way, by letting them playing while they are understanding. But one of the points that I want to focus is that we develop two different interesting things. That one is monitoring the dilatation of the pupil, because we learn that is strongly connected to the emotions. So even if most of this baby, they wasn't able to express the emotion, or if they are stressed while they are during the session, we ask the caregiver or the therapist better understanding the level of stress of baby, and then stopping the session in case of level of stress is getting higher. And we do that by monitoring the dilatation of the emotion and by using an effective computer machine learning algorithm in order to help the therapist understanding the level of stress. And we develop, based on eye tracker, another tool which is called SayEye, and it's a communication tool. It's like it's a alternative. An alternative communication tools based on eye tracker again. The main improvement of these tools that is based on a communication between a mobile phone for the parents or the caregiver and the computer of the baby, and the caregiver itself is able to take a photo, record the video, record an audio, upload the video, and letting the baby understanding better the behavior or choosing between real things that is taken real time by taking photos and providing the information to the baby. But another key point of this solution is collecting all of the data and using the data not only for providing or letting the therapist monitoring the improvement of the baby itself on learning and understanding, but we use the data even for providing a proof to the parents that this baby is improving. And we do realize that that's very important, because most of the parents, they're used to hear from therapists about, no, but your child is very good, is improving, and so and so. But all of the people, they used to say that to these parents. And most of the time, they don't believe it. Or because they are always hearing people saying, no, but it's getting better, and so on and so far. But if you have the proof in front of you, provided by data, that is clear to there as well, that the child and the baby is improving and is a fact. It's not somebody telling you that it's improving. So we use the data not only for analysis, but even for providing information to parents. I will close with some other examples based on use of 3D printers, just few of them. And I will talk about this saddle up. This is a chair, or a stand-up chair that we create just for one girl, a little child. And what is incredible about this, that we create this because of the marriage of their parents. This girl, she were 4. She's not anymore with us, unfortunately. She were 4, she were turning 4. Their parents, they decided to get married. And they really desire that their child, they were dressed as a normal girl, so with a proper dress, large one, very female. And they really want that their girl, their daughter, they will stand next to them. So we create this together with therapists. It's completely 3D printed. We create a 3D scan based on a shape created by therapists, and we do our best in order to let her standing. That this baby, usually, she's always on a bed, so she's always in a flat surface, and she was incredibly happy of being there at their weddings of their parents. And she was incredibly happy. And this helping me telling you one thing about solution. Most of the time, even if it's just for one girl, or even if it's just for one event, it's as important as a solution that we can create for millions of persons. That, as far as I learned by working together in these fields and in disabilities, in pediatric disabilities in particular, that 1 day of happiness, most of the time, it's as important or it deserves the effort of months or years of person working behind just for focusing on 1 day of happiness of this child. And that's it. I think that there's just other few examples. I will close on this. This is another solution that we create for a baby, which is called Emily. And this is based on a solution that was invented by a grandparents of Emily. And he created this car. And this is a tool that for helping Emily standing in a seat in a proper way. And the only things that we did in this case is creating a car which is beautiful. And this was really helping Emily when she went at school, because all of the baby that they were looking at her by a different person or a strange person, they start looking at her as a more lucky than them because she has a very beautiful car. So all of the other babies that were starting looking at her, that I want that as well. So, and this is just, again, I learned it by working together with therapists like you, that the beauty is very therapeutic most of the time. So, thank you.